Shalom family, I am doing this video as a follow-up to what I've made, the video I made yesterday about career versus family versus God, especially for the young woman who is a Christian, serving God, loving Jesus, and just really wants to be a light in this generation. We do have to admit that there's just so many dynamics when it comes to being a young woman in this generation that is serving God and wanting to be a good example, right? There's so many dynamics because you have your family life, and then you have your especially for those that are married or waiting for God for marriage. I'm going to speak more on those who are waiting for God, who are more like, I would say more like, no, not waiting for God, because it's more like God is preparing you, because that's a season that I am as well. God is just really preparing you, and he knows that the next season that he has for you is your marital destiny, and he wants to give you kingdom marriage. So kingdom marriage is a beautiful gift, but it comes at a price, right? He's going to make sure that you are kingdom before he puts you in a kingdom marriage, right? So basically, I want to speak to women who feel like, I want to have a career, I want to have a family, I want to have I want to fulfill my purpose, I want to fulfill my destiny, and I want to be a good mother and a good wife. You can achieve all those things. Like, absolutely, you can do all those things. But it comes with grace. Like, you need grace from God. Like, there is a certain dynamic that there's a certain grace that you need to be able to fulfill all those things. Because if you think about those who are in the career, in women in career, being a homemaker, being a wife, being a mom, and even just your own holistic, your own holistic person, you also have to look after yourself mentally and psychologically and emotionally. That's a lot, but you can do it because the Proverbs 31 woman did it. And I know most people, when they hear about the Proverbs 31 woman, they switch off. They're like, it's not realistic. Like, that woman is just like, she makes me anxious. When I read about her, she makes me anxious. I can understand why some people would think like that. I want to speak to women who are in a season of their life and are not sure that that season is where they need to be, or they feel like that season is prolonged for no reason, or they want to go into the next season like they're tired. I want to speak to the category of young women who feel like, hey, God, I want to be married, or you're married, you're like, God, I want a career, or you're in a season where you're just traveling. Even traveling is a season. You're just traveling the world, and God is teaching you. Either you're going on a missionary trip, or you're doing something. Like, you need to learn to appreciate your season. Because some of you are in the corporate world, right? You're working. You're in corporate America. You're in corporate, you're in the corporate world, and you see the level of intensity and the level of demand that comes from you. Now, imagine being married and having your husband in that same environment, and God calling you away from that corporate world and say, I want you to be a homemaker. Let your husband be the one who goes out, who makes the daily bread and brings the bacon home. You just be a good wife. You just be a good homemaker and love the kids. Some of you may not like that. I mean, to be honest, let me speak like initially, like 3 years ago, if God told me that, I'll be like, no, I want to I want to have my own career, God. Like, he can have his own career. I want to have my own career too. Like, don't tell me to, like, but if God was to offer me that if God was to give me that same value proposition, I would jump at it. Do you know why? Because I've been in the corporate world. I see how it works. And I know that if God decides to ever call you away from that, it's a blessing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be a career woman, because you know what? The kingdom also needs talent. Absolutely. The kingdom of God also needs women who can give you a run for the money in the corporate world. The kingdom also needs women who are precise, women who are intentional, who are just dynamic, women who are, they are forces to reckon with. Because we must not think that the kingdom of God means that we're just people who just like, we're just passive and we accept anything. No, the kingdom also needs women who has to be in the corporate industry, who are fierce and everything. And so, having said that, right, I'm just saying, if you are in the corporate world right now and you are a young woman, you are a child of God, you are married, single, or engaged, or whatever stage of life you are, appreciate that season. Give it your best, because why? God is a God of excellence. So he expects excellence in every area of your life. So if you're in the corporate world right now and you are just in that space, don't be thinking, oh, I want to, oh, maybe I don't want to, like, it's like, appreciate the season. Okay, even if you want to be a homemaker, because not that, so that, because I think that was the mistake, that I used to have these things like modeled up. When I was like in a season where I was just focusing on God, I was like, oh no, I want to be in the corporate world. When I was in the corporate world, I want to just focus on God. Appreciate the season that you are in. If you're in the corporate world, God is training you, is raising you to be the next chief financial officer or something. Eventually, maybe 10 years from now, he's going to use that in his kingdom, right? Like, give it your best. Like, when you wake up every morning, you go to work, give it your best effort, learn, grow, just build your capacity. If you are a homemaker, raising kids, and your husband is going out to bring the food home, appreciate that. Don't allow the enemy tell you, oh, you're not worth anything, your mates are at work, and you're just here being a mom and just cleaning up. Honestly, appreciate that, because you may be raising up the next prophet for the next generation. You're homemaking, you're helping your husband to go out every day into the corporate world, face the world, bring provision back for you and your children. And you may be raising the next set of prophets, the next set of prophetesses, the next set of Deborahs, or the next set of Samuels. Your role is vital. So this video is to tell you that your role in this season of your life is vital. Wherever you find yourself, God can leverage that for his kingdom. So I think that's where we get messed up, because I used to try to be ahead of God. Let me be completely honest. I used to try to go ahead of God. I've been one season thinking, oh, no, I want to be in that season. And then I'm in that season. I'm like, oh, no, I want to be in that season. It's like you're not even enjoying the process. You're not even learning. You're not even growing, because you just want to jump from season to season without learning anything. Enjoy the season that you are in. Make the best out of that season, whether you're just a newly wedded wife, or you're just a homemaker, or you're new mom, or you are in courtship, or you are single, or you are waiting on God for marriage, or you are traveling the world for missionary trips, or you're not working right now. Whatever season you are, I'm telling you, times and seasons go so fast. Whatever seasons that you find yourself in, leverage that season, maximize that season, build capacity. What is God trying to teach me in the season? What is God saying? Learn, right? Learn what God is saying to you in that season. Don't jump ahead. And I'm quickly going to add this here. For those of you who are homemakers, shout out to the homemaker. I'm not a homemaker yet. Eventually, one day, I would love to be a homemaker. I would love to ideally just work on my own, in my own space, make the home, and, the husband can go and bring the bacon home. Let me make this point so I can go. If you're a homemaker, your husband goes home and brings the provision back, you better be very prayerful. Because going out there every day to face the world is a lot of things that you need to be prayerful about. Is a lot of things. You need to be prayerful on his behalf. You need to spend at least 30 minutes each day praying for God to keep him, for God to sustain him, for God to uphold him. Because every day he wakes up, takes his bag, goes to work. I didn't understand all these things. Honestly, if someone told me this, I'd be like, oh no, it's fine. He can pray for himself. But until God took me to the experience of being in the corporate space, and I saw I see how the system works, I was, oh no, if my husband was like ever in a space, in an opportunity where he's corporate and I'm not, I'm going to be investing prayer for him every day, because I need prayers being in that space. So, okay, so that I'm not saying so many things and just going off tangent. Okay, what's the takeaway from this video? If you are a homemaker, your husband goes home, goes to work, and You are in one place, you have and your energy preserved, dealing with people, you can hear God more clearly, you're more connected. Spend time praying for your spouse that goes out to face the world every day. Now, if both of you are young, powerful couples, both of you are young couples, both of you work in the corporate space, that's also fine. That's not an issue. But both of you are going to have to find time to pray for each other. Because if you go out every day, both of you are in the corporate space, doing corporate things and making strides, congratulations. That's a beautiful season of life to be in. Absolutely. You don't have to, I'm not saying that you have to be a homemaker and your husband has to be in the corporate for your marriage to work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just sharing this little nugget of wisdom. If you are a homemaker and he goes home to bring the bacon home, pray for him. Dedicate that time every day where you're praying for him. If both of you work in the corporate space, but if you find time to pray for each other, because you're waking up every day and you're going to face the world, and I'm telling you, pray. Just pray. I'm gonna just leave it there. Pray, okay? But also enjoy the season of life that you are in. Don't be so quick to jump into another season thinking the next season is going to be better. No, enjoy the season first. God is more concerned about the process and what it does in you than the destination that you're going to get to. You just want to get to your destination. You just want to have the test. No, God is more concerned about the process, about the character transformation, the building, the breaking, the crushing, and then the rebuilding and the molding and the shaping. It's hard. It's painful. I've been through that fire, I can tell you, but God is more interested in that than I need to get to my destination. No. Take your time, go through the process with God, and enjoy and be grateful for the season that you're in. Don't complain. Be grateful, because that season is gonna go, and then you're going to go into another season, and you're gonna be like, oh, that other season was better. So be grateful whatever season you find yourself, understanding that God is a God of times and seasons, meaning that you're not going to be stuck in one phase of life forever. He's going to take you through different seasons. I hope you've been blessed. Shalom.